Welcome to Sophie Daddy's channel. Today we are pulling back the curtain on a really sophisticated investing strategy, one you often hear mentioned alongside legends like Warren Buffett. It's what you'd call a pro-level play, and we're going to break down exactly how it works and, maybe even more importantly, who it's really for. So let me just start with this question. Imagine there's a company you absolutely love, but, the stock price is just a little rich for your blood right now. What if you could name your price? A lower price you'd be happy to pay, and someone would actually pay you a big chunk of cash right now, just for being willing to buy it at that discount later. It sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? Well, that is the core idea behind the strategy we are unpacking today.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to bust a huge myth about selling options for income. Then we'll look at two very different timelines to see why the common wisdom just doesn't add up. After that, we'll reveal the two actual pro strategies. We'll go inside the famous Buffett playbook with a killer example. And then finally, we'll talk about why this is a really high-stakes tool that can be a massive trap if you're not prepared.
Okay, let's get right into it with a big myth. If you've ever looked into options trading, I guarantee you've heard this. Selling options is a fantastic way to generate a steady stream of income. But is that the whole story?
Right, so the popular idea is that you're harvesting something called theta. That's just a fancy term for time decay. Options are kind of like expiring coupons. They lose a little bit of value every single day. So the theory goes, you can sell them to someone else and just pocket the cash as their value melts away. And look, for short-term options, that's 100% true. The decay is super fast. But the strategy we're talking about today, the Buffett strategy, uses options that don't expire for a year or more. And for those, well, that whole income idea just completely falls apart.
And that brings us to what I'm calling a tale of two timelines. To really get what the pros are doing, you have to understand the huge, critical difference between selling a short-term option versus a really long-term one. So these long-term options, they have a special name, LEAPs. It stands for Long-Term Equity Anticipation Securities. All it really means is that these are options contracts that won't expire for at least a year, and often it's 2 years or even more. And it's that super long time frame that completely changes the game.
This slide shows it perfectly. A 30-day put is all about fast decay. Its value melts like an ice cube on a hot summer day. And that quick melt is where the seller makes their money. But a 2-year leap, that's a slow burn. Its value erodes at this painfully slow, almost straight-line rate. Trying to make regular income from that slow decay is like trying to boil a giant pot of water with a single match. It's just incredibly inefficient. So the big takeaway here is the goal must be something totally different.
And the data here really proves the point. We're looking at what are called the Greeks. They just measure how sensitive an option is to different things. So look at theta, which is decay. For the leap, it's tiny, practically nothing. But now look at Vega. Vega measures how much the option price changes when market fear, or volatility, spikes up or down. For the leap, it is huge. This tells us everything we need to know. The value of a leap isn't about the slow tick-tock of the clock. It's all about big, sweeping changes in market sentiment and fear.
So this leads us right to the heart of the matter. If selling these long-term leap puts is a terrible income strategy, then what in the world are they for? What are the pros actually doing with them?
Well, it turns out there are really two main professional-grade ways to use them. Strategy A is what we'll call the acquirer. This is a bet where your main goal is to actually buy a specific company you already love just at a better price. Then there's strategy B, the arbitrageur. This one has almost nothing to do with the company itself. It's a pure bet on volatility, a bet that the market is just too scared right now and that fear is overpriced and will eventually calm down.
Let's really zoom in on strategy A, because this is the one that's famously linked to Warren Buffett. And honestly, it's a masterclass in patient, value-based investing.
I absolutely love this quote from our source material because it just makes the whole thing click. Think about it. A limit order is just you telling your broker, hey, if this stock drops to X price, buy it for me. This strategy is the exact same concept, but instead of just sitting there waiting, you get a huge cash payment up front just for your patience. It's brilliant.
And there is no better real-world example of this than Berkshire Hathaway's legendary 1993 trade on Coca-Cola stock. This is like the textbook execution of the acquire strategy.
So here's the play-by-play. Buffett sold puts that gave someone else the right to sell him Coca-Cola stock at $35 a share. Now, this was a price he was already perfectly happy to buy more at, and for taking on that obligation, he was paid an incredible $7.5 million premium. Just look at the two ways this could play out. If Coke stock stayed above $35, he just keeps the entire $7.5 million, free and clear. If Coke happened to fall below $35, he would be forced to buy a company he already loved, but he'd get it at an effective cost of just $33.50 a share because of that premium he collected. He literally engineered a situation where he could not lose. Okay, now before you get any bright ideas, we have to talk about why this is a high-stakes professional tool. Because as powerful as it is, this strategy is loaded with hidden traps that can be absolutely devastating for a regular retail investor. The first and biggest trap is something called illiquidity. You see, unlike popular stocks or short-term options, LEAPs just don't trade that often. And that creates a massive gap between the price you can buy at and the price you can sell at. That's the bid-ask spread. The cost to get in and out is so huge that it basically makes it impossible to adjust your position or get out early. You are pretty much forced to hold it all the way to expiration.
And this data shows you just how bad it can get. This slippage from the spread means that even for a super popular ETF like SPI, trying to adjust your position could cost you around 4% of your money. But just look at a less common stock like VST. That cost explodes to over 26%. A quarter of your entire potential profit could just vanish into transaction costs. It's a massive disadvantage for anyone who isn't a big-time market maker.
And the next risk is that Vega time bomb we talked about earlier. Remember how sensitive these things are to volatility? Well, that means if the market suddenly has a panic attack, the value of that put you sold can skyrocket, creating terrifying paper losses for you. And this can happen even if the stock price itself hasn't moved a single penny. You're not just making a bet on a company, you're making a massive and often misunderstood bet against market fear itself.
And finally, there's what I call the dead money problem. To do this strategy, you have to have enough cash set aside to actually buy the stock if it drops. That's a huge amount of capital. And when you actually do the math, the return you're getting on all that locked up cash is often way, way lower than what you could get with other, more active, shorter-term strategies. Your money is just stuck for years, not really working very hard for you.
And that all leads us to our final question, which is really the main takeaway from all of this. Selling long-term puts is not a simple little income strategy. It's a serious professional tool. You use it either to acquire a company you want at a discount or to make a very complex bet on market volatility. So the question you really have to ask yourself is this: are you just chasing the idea of income, or are you investing with the kind of clear, patient, strategic intent that this powerful tool truly demands?